ladies and gentlemen. The story you are about to see is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
This is the city. Over 2 million people. Almost 1 million of them work. Some of them work in factories. Some of them work in stores. Most of them work hard for a living. A few of them try to take things the easy way. That's why I have a job. I'm a cop. It was Monday, July 9th. We were working the day watch out of robbery division. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Didion. My name's Friday. A man had been pulled from his car, been beaten and robbed. His car had been stolen. The criminal had made good his escape. We had to find him.
Stacy Hollywood. That'll be the yardage department. Yes, ma'am, I'll connect you. Yes, sir, can I help you?
We're police officers, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Like to see one of your employees, a Harvey Kimbrough.
Just a moment, I'll page him for you.
Thanks very much.
Got a match, Frank?
Yeah, sure, Joe, here.
Thank you.
You know, when I was a kid, I never could figure out what that was.
What's that?
The auto call. Calls employees to the telephone. Rings all over the store.
Yeah, I know.
Office. Yes, Mr. Kimbrough. There are 2 policemen waiting to see you on the 8th floor.
Can I keep these?
All right.
No.
That was
Oh,
Mr.
God.
Kimbrough. He's on his way out.
Thank you very much. Did I give you the crime report on this thing?
No, I think you kept it, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Yes, sir, can I help you?
Hey, you want one of these, Joe?
What are those?
Pepto-Pals. Good, try 'em.
What are they for?
Coat the stomach. Real good for stomachache.
Yeah, but I haven't got a stomachache.
Oh. Hey, Joe, I sure like that Ann Baker.
Yeah?
Of course, you know me. I liked her right off the first time I saw her down at that department store.
Yeah, she's a nice girl.
Well, now you can begin to think about settling down, huh, Joe? You know, like Fay and me. Gonna get yourself a little house, start sinking those roots, Joe. You know, they're putting up a lot of nice tract houses these days.
Do you think maybe you're rushing a little bit? I just met her.
How old are you, Joe?
32.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, how old were you when you got married?
35. But I feel I waited too long, Joe. I don't want that to happen to you.
Well, according to your figures, I still have 3 years to go.
Yeah, but Ann's such a pretty girl. You could do a lot worse. I just don't want you to forget about it.
Not a chance with you around.
These gentlemen here, Stella?
Yes, that's right.
Are you Harvey Kimbrough?
Yes, sir.
What if we could step over here and talk, please?
Yes, sir. I sure appreciate you people coming over here. I don't like to take time off from my work. It's pretty tough on my partners, Clive and Warren.
Yes, sir, we understand.
Janitor work in a big store like this keeps you hopping. You haven't got any idea who the hold-up man is yet, have you?
No, sir, we haven't. We'd like to get a little more information on what happened.
Did you talk to the 2 officers in the police car?
Yes, we did, but it's customary for us to make a follow-up for any additional information.
You fellas are plainclothesmen, is that it?
Yeah, we're from Central Robbery.
Oh, I see. Well, I never knew I'd get this much service.
Wonder if you'd mind going over it again for us, Mr. Kimbrough. Maybe something you didn't think of when the other officers talked to you.
I believe I told them everything. I was on the way down to work this morning about 5 a.m.
Mm-hmm. You live out in Alhambra.
Yes, sir, that's right. I take the freeway in.
It was on Commercial Street that you were held up, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Commercial, right near Alameda, almost to the corner, where they're tearing those big buildings down. Man flagged me down and looked like his car was stalled.
Yes, sir.
I always make it a habit to stop when I see somebody in trouble. I know how it is this time in the morning. No gas stations open. Figured maybe the fella needed a shove or something.
So you stopped to give him a hand, is that right?
Well, that's what I had in mind. I'd more than stopped the car, and he came over, pointed a gun at me, and told me to get out.
What'd you do?
Well, I asked the fellow what he wanted. I told him I didn't have any money. Told him I was in the way to get on to my work.
What'd he say to that?
He didn't say anything. Just opened the car door, grabbed him by the arm, and pulled me out. I wasn't prepared for it, and I kind of fell into the street.
Well, now, your car is a blue 1948 Dodge sedan. Right rear fender damage, is that correct?
Yes, that's right. Sure hope you get that thief in my car, too. Awful hard to get around Los Angeles without a car.
Well, we'll do our best.
Took my wallet from me. All the money I had, $14. Then he said, don't bother to get up. Stay right there for 5 minutes after I leave. And he bent down and he hit me in the face.
What'd he hit you with?
With his fist. Yeah, hit me right here. See? You can see the cut here. Right in front of my lip here, see? Yeah, bled pretty heavy.
Yeah, that's a nasty cut.
It's better now. The men who came in the ambulance, they put something on it. It'll be all right.
Well, did he knock you out when he hit you?
Oh, no. No, I saw him get in my car, and then the car was parked up ahead, took off, and this man who held me up, he followed in my car.
Did you try to locate a phone, call for help?
I didn't have to. This Mr. Ferguson pulled up and stopped right away, and then the officer came. Besides, I figured I'd better do what I was told.
How's that?
I was afraid. I was going to wait 5 minutes.
Frank and I left the department store, picked up our car in the parking lot next door, and drove out to the San Fernando Valley, the 800 block on Satakoy Avenue. The card on the front door told us we could find Sidney Ferguson in the garage.
Boy, look at the fish, Joe.
Yeah.
Looking for something?
Yes, sir, we're looking for a Sidney Ferguson.
Surely, I'm Sidney Ferguson.
Police officers, Mr. Ferguson.
Oh, about that holdup this morning down on Commercial Street?
Yes, sir. This is my partner, Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
Oh. Happy to know you.
Hi.
Oh, excuse my wet hand. I've been cleaning up my tanks.
Sure.
You fellas work out of the City Hall?
Yes, we do.
You wouldn't happen to know a John O'Grady down there in Narcotics Division? I went to high school with John.
No, I don't believe I know him. Frank?
O'Grady?
Yeah.
Tall fella, kind of blonde, wavy hair?
Yeah, that's right. Good-looking fella.
Yeah, I think I've seen him around.
Good friend of mine. Say, wasn't that a shame this morning, that Kimbrough fella?
Yeah, it was a rough one. Well, the reason we came out to see you is we thought maybe you could give us some additional information on it.
Oh, I'll be glad to give you all the help I can. I'd like to see you get that holdup man.
You mind giving us a rundown on what happened this morning?
No, not at all. Let's see, it was about 5 o'clock this morning. I'm not usually up that time of the morning, but I was on my way back from Monterey Park. I generally try to make it down there once or twice a week. I get down to see Bruce Duffy, an aquarist friend of mine I have down there. We swap fish.
Yes, sir.
Well, I was on my way back coming down Commercial Street when I saw this fellow sitting on the side of the curb. It looked like he was hurt to me.
I see.
Now, I wouldn't have noticed probably. It was pretty dark, but those two cars pulled out, one right after the other, seemed to be in a big hurry.
And you pulled up to give Kimbrough a hand.
Yeah, I did. Of course, when I got close enough, I could see the guy had been kicked in the teeth. He was bleeding pretty bad. I offered to give him a hand, take him to the hospital, but he said he didn't want to be late for work.
Mm-hmm.
Well, after the officers came and talked to him and the ambulance men treated him, I drove him up to Stacy's Hollywood. I dropped him off there. That's where it works,
Yeah. The report says that you have the license number on the getaway car, but you couldn't find the paper you'd written it on when the officers interviewed you. Is that right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, if that doesn't beat them all.
What's that?
Well, I had the piece of paper a few minutes before the officers got there. I guess I was more rattled than that Kimbrough fella. And when I got home here this morning, there was a slip of paper right on the floor of my car. A little bit of a break, isn't it?
Yes, sir, it is. Sure got a lot of fish.
Yeah, it's my hobby, raising them.
Oh, sure.
Let's see, where did I put that piece of paper at? I really wrote it down, believe me. I just misplaced it somewhere here. I've been trying to get rid of some of the algae off the glass in my tanks.
Hey, Joe, look at this. Gee, did you ever see anything prettier in your life?
Yeah.
How'd you fellas really like to see something you haven't seen before?
What's that?
Take a look in this tank here. Aplochromis multicolor. That's a scientific name. Commonly known as the Egyptian mouth breeder.
Is that a fact?
That's a little female there. See? She's one of the most sacrificing mothers in aquarium history. One of the strangest, too.
How's that?
Well, she lays her eggs in a small depression in the sand down there at the bottom of the tank.
Well, how many eggs would that be?
Usually 80 to 90. Now, here's the strange part. As the eggs are fertilized, she scoops them up into her mouth.
She eats them.
Oh, no. They remain in her mouth while they hatch.
How long does that take?
Over 14 days.
How does she eat?
That's just it. She doesn't. She doesn't touch food in any form for this 2-week period. Seems to just waste away.
Well, what happens then?
Finally, the eggs hatch after 14 days, and little fry comes swimming out of the mother's mouth.
Yeah?
And while the fry are growing up, first you can hardly see them, they're so tiny. While they're growing up, if anything frightens them, quick as a flash, back in the mother's mouth.
Well, that's certainly amazing. Huh, Joe?
Yeah.
Is this as big as they ever get?
Yes, sir. 1 inch to 1.5 inches.
Hard to believe.
Well, the bedders are almost as strange. Male builds a bubble nest up here on the surface. Say, isn't that funny? Here's that paper.
Huh?
The one with the license number on it.
What if I could see that, please?
Oh, sure, here you are.
Thank you.
Pretty sure of this number, Mr. Ferguson?
Yes, sir, I am. I got a good look at it.
Well, thank you very much.
Oh, not at all. Wish
Yeah.
you could spend a little time. Seem kind of interested in tropical fish.
Well, yes, sir, I'd like to sometime.
Well, bye.
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 Oh, say, Officer Smith.
Yeah?
Just a minute. Say, I almost forgot.
Yeah?
In about 5 weeks from now,
Yeah?
how'd you like a nice pair of baby Egyptian mouth breeders?
10:45 a.m. Frank and I got in the car and headed back toward town. I called communications and had them check the license number Ferguson gave us through DMV. They called back and told us the car was a 1949 Chevrolet four-door sedan. The registered owner was a Jack B. Grant, 19112 Beacon Street in the southwest part of Los Angeles. It was a large, old-fashioned residence that had been converted into a rooming house. We checked with the landlady, a Mrs. Ida Fisher.
How do you do, man? Police officers, do you happen to have a Jack Grant registered here?
Yes, he's been with me here about 8 months, but he's not in now.
What time did Grant leave this morning, Mrs. Fisher?
Well, it was pretty early. Must have been around 4 a.m. when I heard him go out. Came back in again this morning about 8 o'clock, parked his car, then he drove off with some other man.
Would you happen to know who the other man was?
No, I wouldn't. I just saw him drive off.
Where does Grant park his car, ma'am?
Around the back in the garage.
Mind if we take a look at it?
No, that's all right. Just go on back there down the drive.
Well, thank you very much.
Now, there's 2 cars parked there. The black Ford belongs to Mrs. Spencer.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
And the 1949 Chevrolet, that's Mr. Grant's.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am.
We checked the car and the license number. It matched the description given us by the victim, Harvey Kimbrough, and the witness, Sidney Ferguson. Together with Mrs. Fisher, we checked Jack Grant's room. We found nothing of importance. His clothing and personal effects were all there, nothing to indicate that he wouldn't be back. We told the landlady that we were placing the house under surveillance, and if Grant should return, not to say that we'd been there. She agreed and offered further assistance. She said she'd signal us by raising and lowering her front window curtain when Grant returned. We parked down the street, called the office, and advised them we were on stakeout. 2 men were sent out, and they covered the back entrance. Frank and I covered the front. By 6 o'clock that night, Grant had failed to show. 9 p.m., still nothing. 11 p.m.
What time they say that relief team was coming out?
Around 11 sometime.
Chandler and Ricketts, huh?
I don't know, I guess so.
Oh, boy, I'm stiff. Feels like needles all over my body. It's been about 12 hours, hasn't it?
Yeah, just about.
Just like driving to San Francisco. You know, Faye makes me drive all the way, and when I get out at the other end, I'm stiff as a board.
There's a car pulling up down there.
Oh, yeah.
You see who it is?
Yeah. Yeah, that's Ricketts.
Friday?
Hi, Jack.
Who's this you got with you?
Same guy you borrowed the candy bar from 2 weeks ago. How about it? I'm hungry.
Glad you reminded me. That bar was pretty stale. As soon as I find one to match it, I'll pay you back. It's the house over there, huh?
Yeah, Jack, the green and white one.
No sign of him at all, huh?
No, nothing.
Well, you guys want to take off?
Yeah. I guess you can make out all right, Ricketts. You got Chandler with you.
Friday, I feel sorry for you drawing this guy for a partner.
Well, after 7 years, he kind of grows on you. I'd like to check out with the landlady before we take off. Her name's Ida Fisher, Jack.
Right, Joe.
Let's go, Joe.
Joe.
See you later, Jack. Say hello to Chandler.
Right, Frank. Good night.
Good night. That Ricketts sure is a ripstaker.
Yeah.
Light's still on in the living room. Guess she's sweating it out with us.
Yes, Sergeant Friday?
Sorry to bother you again, ma'am.
Oh, that's all right. Mr. Grant still hasn't come in.
I wonder if it'd be all right if we took another look at his room.
I don't see why. Watch it!
It's Grant, out the back! Right, Joe. Frank, you all right?
I didn't know he had a gun. He made me hide him.
Lady, will you call an ambulance, please?
He's not dead, is he?
Lady, will you call that ambulance? Hurry. Monday, July 9th, 11:28 p.m. The ambulance arrived and Frank was taken to Georgia Street Receiving Hospital. His condition was critical. Despite the fact that the other men on stakeout at the house had closed in as quickly as possible, Jack Grant somehow had succeeded in jumping out a side window and making good his escape through a maze of neighboring backyards. The men at the scene began a search of the immediate area. I called in and communications got out a broadcast and an APB. A special detail of men and cruiser cars was rushed to the scene and a blockade was thrown up around the area. Then I called Ann Baker and asked her to meet me at Georgia Street Receiving Hospital. I stayed on and worked with Ricketts and Chandler. Under questioning, the landlady, Mrs. Fisher, broke down and admitted that Grant had given her $10 to keep his presence in the house a secret. She told us that when we'd searched the suspect's room earlier, he had hidden in the cellar. She was taken into custody. 1:30 a.m. I got a relief and I went downtown to Georgia Street Receiving Hospital, the P&F ward. When I got there, Ann Baker was waiting in the hall. How is he?
I don't know. They won't let anyone in to see him. I brought him a carton of cigarettes.
So did I. If anything happens to him, Ann, I don't know what I'm going to do.
He'll be all right, Joe. I know he will.
It was nice of you to come down and stand by.
That's all right. It was the least I could do.
Hi, Doc.
Friday, we removed one slug from the upper thoracic region, another one from his left shoulder. Looked like they could have been .45 caliber. Bit of mark for evidence.
How's he doing?
As well as could be expected.
What does that mean?
It's hard to tell. Depends on how it goes the next 4 hours.
Can I go in and see him?
No, we're not admitting anyone in there. Under sedatives, lost quite a bit of blood, pretty weak.
Do you need anybody for transfusions?
No, it's all taken care of. His relatives been notified?
Yes, sir. His wife and kids are visiting back in Sioux Falls. I sent him a wire. They'll break the news to her.
Oh, well, that's about all we can do for now.
Wonder if I just couldn't sneak in and leave this carton of cigarettes for him.
Afraid it's going to be some time before Officer Smith can use them. Just leave them. The nurse will take care of them.
Thanks, Doc. Was there anything I can get for him? Anything he needs?
No, we're doing everything we can for him.
You don't think I could just look in for a minute?
No, I'm sorry.
Well, there must be something I can do.
You got a good prayer handy?
A.m. I left Georgia Street Receiving Hospital and drove back to the scene of the shooting. The search for the suspect, Jack Grant, was still going on. The neighborhood was checked and rechecked. Everything possible was done to find the man who shot down Officer Frank Smith. It's been said that a police department goes all out, doubles its efforts to run down a criminal who attacks a police officer. Well, it's true, but most people aren't aware of the reason. Certain elements would like you to believe that the police officer places the safety of his fellow officers above that of the citizen. This isn't true. His first day at the academy, the cadet peace officers taught this basic fact. If a criminal would shoot down the armed police officer, he wouldn't hesitate to shoot down the unarmed citizen. 3 a.m. I finally located Lieutenant Jack Ricketts at the corner of Coronado and Beacon Streets, 7 blocks from the scene of the shooting.
How is he?
Not too good, depends on the next 4 hours.
What are his chances?
I didn't ask.
Now, we're not getting any place here.
Nothing at all, huh?
Nothing.
Something's got to break.
Chandler's still downtown. They're combing through Grant's package. He's down at the I Bureau.
They come up with anything?
Nothing. Not since the last time I checked, about 40 minutes ago.
Any ideas?
Fresh out. You?
Well, he couldn't have gotten far. Not this soon, he couldn't.
Bus depots, train terminals, airports all covered. The highway patrol's been alerted. Nothing so far.
He's got to be someplace close, Jack. He's got to be.
Yeah, I think he's holed up in town, too. But where?
Yeah.
He's in a jam. He's had good publicity. A lot of his friends are going to hide that welcome mat.
Well, maybe that narrows it down a little.
Maybe.
Let's find him. 3:30 a.m. Jack Ricketts and I got back to the city hall. We went directly to the I Bureau. Chandler and Powers had sifted through Jack Grant's package. They'd drawn up a list of all of Grant's known friends and associates. There were 22 names on the list. 3 of them were in San Quentin Penitentiary. 2 of them were doing time at the county work farm. That left 17 names on the list. Further checking showed that 5 of them had out-of-state addresses. 12 names. The list was split down the middle. Ricketts and I took 6 names, Chandler and Powers 6. Of the 12, with the exception of 1, all names had appeared on the police blotter in the past 8 years. Raymond Weller, Peter Denton, Horace Phillips, Henry Breen. Ricketts and I checked them. Some were in bed, some hadn't been to bed. We were reasonably sure that none of them knew the whereabouts of the suspect. I called Georgia Street to find out about Frank. They told me no change in his condition. 4:55 a.m.
After this, we get a quick bite to eat, huh? You don't look so good.
Not hungry. What's this one's name?
Anthony Baxter, room 23.
Now, here we are.
Yeah?
Police officers. You Anthony Baxter?
Yeah?
Want to talk to you.
Find out how to get a guy out of bed.
You always sleep with your clothes on? Get back in the room.
Well, what's going on?
You know a Jack Grant?
Why?
You a friend of Jack Grant's?
Why?
Jack Grant a friend of yours?
I'm not going to tell you anything till I know why.
You want to talk here or downtown?
I've got a right to know what it's about.
Get your hat and coat.
You just want to know if I know Jackie Grant, is that all?
You want to get that hat and coat?
I know Grant.
Where is he?
I don't want to get mixed up in anything.
You're mixed up in it already. You know him.
That's the trouble with you guys. Guy tries to walk the straight and narrow, and you guys come around and try to put him in a corner.
Where's Grant?
I've been in jail, and I did my time. You haven't got anything on me.
Baxter, let's get this straight. We're not after you. We want Grant. We didn't come up here to push you around. We don't want you to push us around. Now, where is he?
I'm going to tell you something. I don't like being talked to this way, and I'm not going to stand for it. I got certain rights, and I'm going to stand on them.
Now, you listen to me. A friend of mine's lying in the hospital because of your pal, Jack Grant. He put 2 bullets in him. Now I'm tired and I'm out of patience. Where is he? Where is he?
All right, Joe. It's all right.
Yeah.
So last time around, Baxter, tell us where Grant is. Come on, quick.
Hotel Felberg, room 605.
All right, let's go downtown.
What for? I haven't done anything. I've already told you everything I know.
That's right. We don't want you to tell anybody else. 5:27 a.m. We located the Filbert Hotel on North Crocker Street. On the way over, we called in and told them what we'd found. Chandler and Powers met us outside the hotel. They took up their position. Ricketts and I checked with the desk clerk and confirmed that the suspect was in room 605. He was registered under an alias. We took the elevator to the 6th floor. Room 605 was directly across from the elevator.
Yeah, what is it?
Police officer. Get your hand out. I wouldn't want to shoot you.
Hands behind your head.
Back.
Turn around.
"5:42 a.m. Ricketts and Chandler took the suspect into custody. It was 6:03 a.m. when I got to the Georgia Street Receiving Hospital, the P&F ward. Ann was still waiting.
Sergeant?
Hi, Doc. How is he?
You can go in. Don't stay too long.
All right, thank you. All right. You look all in.
No, I'm all right. You want me to go with you?
Yeah, would you?
Sure. Yes, that's right.
All right, Frank.
Hi. You look tired.
How you feeling?
I'll do. How'd it go?
We got Grant.
You look tired. You been working straight through on it?
Yeah. Anything I can get you?
No. I just gotta take it easy a few days. You know, rest up. Get well.
Yeah.
I'll be well in a few days.
Sure you will.
Just a little rest. Hey, Joe, have you given any more thought to what I was talking to you about yesterday?
What?
You know, about you and Ann.
You don't need any rest.
Huh?
You're well.
On November 7th, trial was held in Department 89, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. The suspect was tried and convicted on 1 count of assault to commit murder. He and his accomplice were convicted on 4 counts of first-degree robbery. Assault to commit murder is punishable by imprisonment in the state penitentiary from 1 to 14 years. First-degree robbery by imprisonment in the state penitentiary from 5 years to life. The landlady, Ida Fisher, was placed on probation.